grilled proteins, house-made sauces, vibrant vegetables, all crafted with care and ready in minutes. Their catering program is growing fast, fueling offices, events, and gatherings with the same attention to detail and quality that defines their in-store experience, whether it's one bowl or 100. Where bold flavor meets flawless execution, Mezeh.
I think for us, the easiest place to start for us specifically would be, since Mezeh is a pretty localized brand to like the Northeast, maybe you would call it. Could you just give us like an overview of what the Mezeh concept is, what people can expect on the menu, and things like that?
Yeah, sure. So Mezeh is a fast casual Mediterranean restaurant. We our assembly line style, kind of build your own bowl, wrap, or pita pocket. And our core values have always been freshness, bold flavors, and natural ingredients. And I think our line really blows customers away, as we have 35 fresh, cold toppings that you can add to any entree.
Yeah, we're staring at it right now.
As
It's
soon
right
as
on
I
our
walked
viewpoint. It
in.
already smells so good in here. Where are you guys located? What are the plans for future locations? Anything like that right now?
Right now, we're just a mid-Atlantic brand. Our footprint is from Charlotte, North Carolina to Manhattan, New York. We have 3 stores in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York, and 5 in North Carolina, but our major footprint is in Virginia, Maryland, and DC, and that's where our headquarters are in Fairfax, Virginia.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. I know last night we talked a little about the original stores being in the mall, and now you have like a new flagship store. I think you said somewhere in Virginia.
Yeah, the Crystal City store was our first freestanding location, and when we opened it, it was just gangbusters. I mean, we were pushing 150 to 200 orders through that hour and a half lunch time frame. It was kind of a vibing work scene pre-pandemic, and it's remained kind of a flagship store for catering and for in-store business.
Hell yeah. I think if we pivot to catering a little bit, obviously that's our relationship in this whole gang of things, and why we're here today, and came out and met you last night and here to talk to you a little bit today. What role does catering play in the business realm for Mezeh right now?
So in the beginning, we used catering as our marketing tool, as opposed to getting billboards or spending a lot on digital media. We used food drops and caterings as a way to kind of get our food out to the public. Our philosophy then, and still is, you only have to try Mezeh once to be hooked on it. And we saw a lot of value in giving the food away to gain loyal customers. And that was the beginning. Now catering, while it is its own entity in the business, it's kind of lumped in with our digital sales initiative. And this year we've made improvements to the website. We've brought on great delivery partners to help improve those processes, so that we can continue to grow the digital sales for Mezeh as a whole.
What is that like for you? I guess reinvigorating a digital sales process and online ordering or things like that. Like what did you guys go to? What did you innovate to make it easier for the customer on their end?
Yeah, so we partnered with a new online ordering provider, which gave us a lot of flexibility with menu presentation. Mezeh is a bit complex if you're not familiar with the cuisine, and we've always thought that pictures are worth 1,000 words. So having a new online ordering partner in Olo allowed us to create bigger menus with more variety and more information for a new customer. And then people familiar with our cuisine already or fans of the in-store service can order quicker, easier online, just a more seamless process.
Hell yeah. Just because I said we had to keep this one tight doesn't mean you gotta not say anything.
Did you guys start out really heavy on the marketplaces and then open up first party ordering for your customers, or have you always offered ordering straight from Mezeh?
We've always offered Mezeh from our website and our rewards app. And in the beginning, Easy Cater was our only online partner for third-party catering.
Yeah.
We've found a few other partners in smaller markets that just serve a few of our stores, but Easy Cater remains to be the biggest third-party
Sure.
that we do catering through. And then, you know, as we've grown at our corporate office, we've brought on people to help implement some of our ideas that we've had for years.
Yeah.
And I would say this first quarter alone, we've seen catering sales growth up to 150%.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And that is solely based on menu tweaks, delivery partners, and efficiencies at the store that we've always talked about, but now we're finally putting into place.
When it comes to the menu, I know you talked about that being a big thing Olo's brought to you guys, is tweaking your menu. What does it look like? Are you letting customers build their own stuff from scratch? Do you have specific offerings? Like, what's most successful on the menu?
Yeah, so our Cadillac of the catering menu has always been the build your own spread,
Okay.
where you pick and choose the bases, the proteins, the toppings, and the sauces, and we bring that in-store Mezeh experience to you at the business or home. But again, with new customers, it's very intimidating to look at a list or pictures of 40 items
Yep.
and try and pick what's going to be best to feed your group of 20 or 30. So in addition to that build your own spread, we've created probably 15 or 20 packages that are preset. Most of them are based on the protein element that comes with it. And then our chef has picked out the toppings and the sauces for you. Now, to take that a step further, you can pick the package and add it to your cart and be done, but you can also pick a package and continue to customize it. If you
Okay.
wanted to switch from pickled onions to pickled turnips, you have that flexibility. And I think in this day and age, where everyone has an office of 20 with 4 or 5 dietary or allergen restrictions,
Yep.
Having that flexibility, but also knowing what you're picking was kind of curated by a chef to a certain extent, goes a long way in confidence of that customer.
Well, instead of the intimidation up front to build it from scratch, you get a base to start with, and then you can make subtle tweaks that personalize it. I like that a lot. And you're not saying no to anything your customer wants. I think something that comes up when we talk about customizing for catering then is the operational side and what that puts on your team at the store level. Do you feel like there was a growth that you guys have gone through, and any tips that you have for how the actual back of house is cooking and preparing the catering?
Yeah, so when the packages came out, we had specific build guides for each package. Like, this is what's going to come in the chicken kebab package. But then when we added the customization element, it no longer was as black and white as one sheet. So we've made improvements to the receipts that print out for the team. We have a calendar for every store where they can see their orders for that day and print out guides or print out the total order. But I think the stores that do a lot of catering, they really have to be on a schedule, because we prep all the food fresh in the morning.
Yeah.
Then we put it out for the customer, and the hot items are cooked, you know, with just enough time to pan and get ready for the driver. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Sometimes we're behind on the grill and our driver has to wait 5 minutes because we want that freshness to come through on the order.
Yeah.
But I think the stores, like all the changes we throw at them, have met them and exceeded our expectations, because we get very few comments on mistakes in orders.
Sure.
I think our biggest flaw, if I had to name one, would be maybe leaving off an item just in the delivery process.
Yeah.
But with our partnership with you and our managers at the Ready, we've been able to act swiftly and kind of make corrections
Yeah.
to those issues.
How are you guys receiving feedback on the catering side of things specifically? Is there any technology you're using there, or is it like you and your team sending out emails? What's that look like?
Yeah, so we have an open catering hotline, which is available in my pocket 24/7.
Yeah.
It's actually how I set up this trip.
Yeah.
I just called their catering
Call the
hotline.
So I think what we have tried to do is meet our customers in many different levels where they feel comfortable communicating. Some people send emails with feedback. Some people call and want to talk it out. We get text messages. We certainly still get reviews. But we've just implemented an email program for the catering side of things.
Okay.
And I think as Mezeh has grown, catering has always been a necessary evil, but it's kind of the last thing
Hasn't
to
been
get
the focal
updated.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because our in-store experience keeps the lights on, and then the catering is supposed to push us to that next level. So we're still working on improving the feedback and how we can get real-time feedback, but the customers do a good job of letting us know what they like and what they don't
Sure.
like.
That makes sense.
If we pivot back a little bit, and I mean, we're still sticking in the catering realm of things, but you talk about the DSPs partnering with DeliverThat. Something I brought up to Christian on the way here that I really wanted to touch on was Mezeh and DeliverThat had a relationship 3, 4, 5 years ago, whatever it was, when I was still in the realm of dispatch and logistics. That I don't want to say fell apart, but at some point in time, things were not going how you guys wanted them to go. It dissipated a little bit, and then now you're back utilizing our services. So 3, 4, I don't know, we'll call it 2019, maybe around the COVID times. Where was our service lacking at that point in time? Where did things improve, or was it a Mezeh necessity to implement and do DSP? How do those things iterate where you begin to utilize a DeliverThat or a DSP service again?
I think it was because Ben got out of operations.
Yeah, I think
once,
also
once you
there's-
left, we were like,
yeah.
nah, we're
I
not
think
going to do this anymore.
I might have been the one that
Yeah.
couldn't get a hold of a driver, and then we had to refund or something.
Yeah.
So I might have ruined the relationship. I might have kept it together.
No, we
Who
won't
knows?
put that on you, Ben. No, I think in the transition from DeliverThat to DoorDash, we signed a marketing deal with them, and we partnered with them from small and large order fulfillment. It wasn't an issue with DoorDash. It was more looking for consistency, so we know who's picking the order up, what to expect. And with that, we found that, some of the DSPs that specialize in small order fulfillment do not meet the standards that Mezeh holds for large order fulfillment. And we released a new menu last summer, and it was at that point we all decided that we need to have a solid partner for large order fulfillment. And that's where you guys came back into play. I think the decision was very easy for us after seeing the improvements you guys had made from a usability standpoint, from our side, like the dashboard, being able to add orders manually. And I think the other thing that really sets DeliverThat apart from some of our other previous partners is the customer service. I mean, I text Christian on bigger issues, but I call support maybe once or twice a week to help troubleshoot issues or check in on big orders coming up. And that isn't always available for some other delivery partners. Sometimes you're on hold, you can't get the right person. DeliverThat really feels like a tight-knit group. I talk to the same people sometimes, and I have a relationship with them. And I think all that helps me feel comfortable in the service that we're providing our customers.
I appreciate you saying all that.
We always onboard restaurants and tell them to manage us like we're their own fleet of drivers. And I think you do a great job, and the team do a great job of doing that with us, right? Like, just like you guys need feedback, we get instant feedback from the store to you, straight to our team, right? Like, that's how we hold our drivers accountable. That's the quality assurance for all things. Because, in the delivery space, things aren't always going to go well. But if it doesn't feel like you have a true partnership in it, nothing gets better, nothing gets done about it. So it's been great working with you to get feedback that makes our platform better, right? Like in 3 or 4 years from now, hopefully we're much better than we are today because of your feedback, because of the restaurant's feedback. So we appreciate that a lot.
You mentioned like the Mezeh standards and how everything's prepared fresh. It's coming off the grill, it's put in the packaging, it's out the door, and things like that. In terms of making sure that food shows up to the customer how it left the store, what are your expectations for a DSP or a delivery driver, whether it's DeliverThat, DoorDash, whatever third party you utilize? What are the Mezeh expectations for a delivery driver when it's not someone in house?
Yeah, I think what I tell customers on the phone or via email about our experience is it's not just about the food. It's about being on time. It's about being there and present for that person to set up their lunch for their meeting. And I'll tell you, I've been able to sell certain customers solely based on what I've told them about the delivery service. So when you ask me what it looks like to be a good delivery partner, professionalism is key. I can't tell you how many caterings can't have been saved just because the driver stuck around and made sure that the customer felt comfortable, with the setup. And that is not always guaranteed by other delivery partners. But I tell our customers, our partnership with DeliverThat guarantees that you're going to get that white glove treatment from the moment the food leaves the store. You can track your driver, you can text them till your food is set up and ready to serve. I think that having the equipment necessary to execute a delivery is also something that we've seen a drastic change in with the partnership with DeliverThat. Previous partners would show up with no bags, no carts for a $2,500 order. And, then the food gets delivered in boxes or just however we can. And I think with DeliverThat, our managers actually were reaching out saying they could tell a difference or something shifted because the drivers were coming more prepared, more put together and ready to serve, ready to be part of our team as well.
A bit of not necessarily a hard pivot, but I just want to ask some like very straightforward questions. Do you know the largest catering delivery that Mezeh has ever facilitated?
The largest order, this was probably pre-DeliverThat partnership, but we did a catering for 600 people, which was 3 buffet lines, and we 4 or 5 employees to replenish the line. So I think that still stands out in my mind as the largest catering we've done for 600 people.
When somebody orders that large, what do you think? What are you telling them it's going to cost per person to feed their team?
So we strategically keep our prices as low as possible to keep the customer coming back without a coupon.
Yeah. Okay.
So our price online is our best price. We do get inquiries about bulk discounts, and if we can provide that for that customer, we'll work on the menu with them and make sure that our needs are still being met. But typically the price point that everyone gets is the same price point for a large order.
Yeah. I love the idea of keeping it your best price right out of the gate, right? Like a lot of restaurants will upcharge things, but then have complicated loyalty and rewards programs. And
You're fine, no worries.
Music
We'll be
hit.
done in like 10 minutes.
Super close. But yeah, I love just leading with your best value offer so that you're not having to get super creative with all the loyalty rewards and all these point systems and things that sometimes just convolute the whole process. I love that.
Yeah, and I also think that being that forthright with the customer it kind of shows that we are an honest company, and that's we've always tried to be very honest with our customers about the ingredients we use in the food, about our processes, so that there isn't any question about what's going on.
You build the trust right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Couple more like just quick hitting questions. Do you know the average order cost of a Mezeh catering delivery, and also what the average like mileage per those deliveries would be by chance?
Yeah, we're right at about $300 per average order. I think we do close to 40 or 50 caterings a day across all of our stores, which sounds great. But we have 50 stores, so it's one out of every store. There's room to grow there, and we see that. And I think average distance is about 5 miles. So it is still in that sweet spot near the restaurant, but we certainly see room for growth on both of those.
Do you feel like there's a big difference between the catering utilization for downtown cities where there's businesses everywhere versus suburbia where things are a little more spaced out? Like, does your business fluctuate between those kind of markets, or is it pretty similar all throughout?
Yeah, what I see from the metro areas are quick decision orders. So the packages that we have made, I see a lot of those going out for these business lunches and the day before, or 36 hours before. And I think what that tells me is this person is ordering for a lunch meeting. They want something that they can order easily and they know is going to meet the needs of their office. I think when you get to suburbia, I think there's a lot more questions about our menu and about our offerings, and definitely more time spent on our side educating the customer and pointing them in the right direction. So it is kind of a mixed bag of customers all across the board, but I do think that the metro areas are that like hustle bustle fast, like on to the next. And I think the packages have really helped us get discovered by those people, because before, if they had to go through and build their own spread, they may just say, this is too much.
Taking too much time.
Taking too long. Whereas now, when I look at some of these orders and it's $500, I'm like, oh, wow, this must be a build your own spread. It's 3 packages and an a la carte item. And that's what we want. We want to make it easy for everybody.
Hell yeah. You go, it's 10:30, store's about to open. So I got one left. You got anything before we get out of here?
You go.
All right. This is the most fun question of the podcast, I personally think. You walk into a Mezeh yourself. You probably eat here a million times a week, whatever it is. You walk up to the line. What's your Mezeh order? Do we have any behind the scenes, non-menu listed favorites that the people out there know about that we could present to the public? Anything like that?
Yeah, it's so funny you asked that, because my dad asked me the same question last night, because he must have seen an article about menu hacks. He's like, does Mezeh have any menu hacks? I was like, not really. I mean, we are at our core, pick whatever you want.
You can already hack it away.
You can already make it as a hack. No, I'd say one of my favorite menu items were our pizzas. And in the pandemic era, when everyone, including Panera, was coming out with pizza, we did the same. And I think we really mastered it. And we've pulled it from the menu. It's an online order only item.
Oh, okay. Now. So you can still get it, though.
You can still get it, but little breaking news: it's going to be phased out. And I think we'll bring it back as an LTO. But no, I for the longest time I was pushing to get a Caesar dressing on the menu, and we'd go to test with it. We'd make one. We're like, we don't need a Caesar dressing. But finally, it got on the menu, and my favorite thing to make is a chicken shawarma Caesar wrap. Okay. And I've gotten so snobbish about it that I won't even let the staff make it. Like, I have to go back there, make it myself. I kind of do hack the menu a little bit, add some more dressing at the beginning, but no, that is my favorite item. The other thing that I think gets slept on a little bit is our shredded lamb, and we make that in-house. It's a braised lamb shank. I've been to fine dining Mediterranean restaurants where they've served me the same thing we're serving here, and it's unbelievable to me that we can do this in a fast.
Yeah, you can even compete
and offer it to customers, whereas you know, the lamb I got at this other place was a $40 plate, and here you can get it for a minimal upcharge. So, but no other menu hacks. I think, you know, something else that's unique about Mezeh is that our cold toppings are unlimited. And I told you earlier, we have almost 35. If you want every topping, we
Stack
have
it up.
customers that say, "Give me a little bit of everything," and we will provide that to you. Now, online ordering, we have a little different setup because again, it's got to be packed and delivered efficiently. But if you come in store, you can pretty much get whatever you want because we want you to feel like you are in control.
Hell yeah,
That's
man.
awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Patrick, for coming out with us last night, spending some time with us. Thank you for inviting us to a couple locations today. We made a little quick audible this morning.
Yep.
But yeah, this is my first time actually even in a Mezeh, so we'll have to give it a try here shortly. I'm a big fan of Caesar salad, Caesar wraps, so that
You
sounds
got his attention.
right up my alley. Yeah, my ears perked up a little bit when you mentioned that, but I do just greatly appreciate you and your time and the Mezeh team as a whole, and thank you for partnering with DeliverThat and building a relationship with us over these years and coming back to us after a little bit of time and just being able to move forward. I think obviously, like we mentioned, communication is something that pushes a lot of things forward, and being able to be proactive about issues is an even bigger way to get through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys coming out. Again, I think we've talked about partnerships and mutual customers, and I feel like this partnership is all that and more. So you guys are always welcome. Any stores, you let me know.
We gotta make a trip to DC though. We
Yeah.
gotta come to your turf.
We just got to bring Mezeh to us. We just
Yeah,
need a
yeah,
Mezeh
or
kit.
yeah. We convinced Honeygrow to come to Belden Village. Now we got to
And it's
convince
going
Mezeh
great. Yeah.
to come to Belden Village. That's our next goal.
Send us some real estate options, and we'll get
Done.
working on it.
Done.
Done. All right,
That's
man.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thanks, man.
thanks.